So Spencer actually didn't get expelled. Olivia chose to go to college with Spencer, and Layla is still trying to figure out what she's gonna do. What's good, y'all? She gets this Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV, your #1 source for all American content. And we are back for 4B, the second half of season 4 of All American. In this video, we are talking about episode 8. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my All American videos. You can also always head over to ericavane.com for the latest in All American news. There we have the synopsis for each episode, as well as any casting updates and more. So be sure to add ericavane.com into your rounds of checking for All American information, because we're going to keep you up to date right here on Erica Vane TV and on ericavane.com. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the episode. In my opinion, y'all, the episode was given a season premiere vibes, not necessarily a return from a mid-season hiatus. A lot of the episode was very much so hinged on the storyline around Spencer trying to save Jabari and his teammates from any kind of persecution and facing being expelled because of it. And while I'm not a fan of Spencer still leaning into his savior complex issues and not actually making different choices, knowing that this is a character flaw that he has and something that he needs to work on, I completely understood his reasonings as he continued to communicate them throughout this episode. Jabari is definitely going back to jail if anything got out about this, and if it was anybody else, I guess I would still feel a way about Spencer doing it, but I understood, because this is literally the difference between Jabari getting his third strike and Spencer simply just not being able to walk. It definitely seemed like a negligible sacrifice in the grand scheme of things. Now again, I don't agree that he should be sacrificing himself, but it just made sense. And then also when he further discussed his points behind it, of not even just that it being Jabari, but like, why were they making this such a big deal? It literally was a senior prank, and the fact that they wanted to penalize these kids from this inner city school so heavily, I know I would bet money that if it was the other way around and a Beverly Hills student would have broken into Crenshaw and accidentally flooded their gym, this would not be happening in the same way that it is. But Spencer makes a very valid point of that a lot of times the people in power or whatever place lower values on the lives of these black kids coming from where Spencer comes from versus what they feel like the value is of good kids or kids who come from a better off background. And I think that that was the biggest thing that Spencer wanted to communicate, and I understood it. I didn't necessarily like that we were put in this position again with him, but I completely understood it. And ultimately his friends showed up and showed out for him in an attempt to try to get to circumvent the system. They all decide to admit to actually stealing the trophy, which was supposed to, according to JJ, force them to either expel everybody or expel nobody. And it wound up being Carter who puts his job on the line, tells the committee that after this whole little everybody tell that they did it didn't work, he tells the committee that he leaned into them really doing a really good senior prank, and that he was the leader in that, in reference to putting undue pressure on these kids to make this type of dumb decision. And because of it, he lost his job. But Spencer, all he lost was the ability to walk. He still is able to graduate and maintain his scholarship with Golden Angela Southern. And we love to see it. Like in this, we get a shift in power, and we also get to see Spencer lean into being the one being saved versus doing the saving. And we love it. If I wasn't sure before, I'm 100% sure now. And now I'm fine. I'm on a countdown, y'all. I'm literally counting down the days until Carter's going to give Grace a ring. Give Grace her ring. We want a wedding. A lot of people asked me last night. I actually went live after the episode, as I will be doing throughout the rest of the season. So again, hit the subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my All American content, or when I go live to talk with the community about all that's happening in the series. But like I told y'all last night, probably the only thing that I'm looking forward to at this point in time in the rest of the season is for Grace and Carter to get married, because the way that Carter stood up for Spencer, the way that Carter showed exactly who he is and how he has changed, he has fully come full circle. He is dropped down into making substantial change and is not led by his ego or anything else moving forward. It's just like, oh my God, we really love to see it. Grace deserves this king and he deserves this queen. So like, let's go ahead and get on with it, please. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. I think I'm going to do a new tweet every every day of like, this is day number 1 of Carter still not proposing to Grace. Day number 2 of Carter still not proposing to Grace until we get our proposal. NK, I need that proposal ASAP. Also in the realm of stepdad stepping up, Asher receives an amazing offer from Jacob after a little bit of like prying and pushing from Jamie, who is going to be his new love interest. I can't, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. Asher is literally rejecting the fact that Jacob wants to pay for his college tuition. It's about $200,000 and he refuses to accept it. And it's only after Asher sees Spencer struggling with accepting the help from them and deciding to just go ahead and take the expulsion that he realizes how silly he's being and doubles back and actually makes a deal with Jacob to have him pay for the first year of school, but also let it be alone and have him try to work it off while working at his restaurant, and really just leaning into accepting the help that's provided to him. And it's like, sir, I'm glad that you arrived here, but you also compromised your little future relationship in the process because you decided to flip out on her and talk about how you don't need another girl that's going to try to save you because you already had that girl. Every girl that you've ever been with, Asher, has been trying to save you. That's what you attract. And if you didn't want Jamie to actually speak on what was going on or try to offer you any type of solutions or help, then maybe you shouldn't have been sitting there boo-hoo crying at that damn table getting on her nerves about it, because for whatever reason you seem to love to keep bomb women who about their business within your vicinity. So you cannot get in front of a bomb woman who about her business is not going to sit there and just let some stuff happen but are about that action. You cannot sit in front of them and just complain and then expect them not to offer no damn solution. But clearly you learned that in this episode, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off your head. In my opinion, you need to stay single for a while, Asher, because you lean too heavily on your relationships, but I'm gonna go ahead and mind my business and let you be great. In this episode, we see Layla going back and forth with whether she should go to college or not, and she got some feedback from a professor at a school or recruiter dean or somebody who basically told her all of these like music theory courses and really deep research heavy, academic heavy music courses that she could be taking that she doesn't get from just the experience of being a producer right now. And it is Clay, the other little producer that we got to meet in episode 7, who really helps reinforce her confidence, because her confidence is definitely shaken. She starts to feel a little bit of imposter syndrome after being confronted with the idea of that she has to go to college if she wants to actually be a success in this music business. And I really adored this storyline for her this episode because it felt very authentic and real. It felt like she was grappling with something that's very hard. While she has seen some success, she's already started her own record label, she's in high school, she's way ahead of the curve. She definitely wants to continue her trajectory and her momentum to greatness, and she don't want to stifle herself by thinking that she's too good for an opportunity like college. And Clay is able to tap in Sabine, who is the new star played by JoJo, who will be working with Layla's character in this season, and she's coming to her to help her get a new sound and really lean into Layla's expertise, which helps Layla remember like, yo, you really are dope and people know what you do, and regardless of whether you decide to go to college or not, you are still amazing and on a great path. And I love that for her. I also love that Layla has this supportive guy in Clay with this beautiful smile, and I'm totally here for it. And yes, I think I'm shipping Clay and Layla now. I don't know how I feel about this Clayla name, y'all. That's gonna have to, right now I'm gonna call it Clay. No, that's his name. Damn it. Ugh. Clayla, I hate it, but I love them. So let me know what y'all think about Clayla in the comment section down below. Also in this episode, struggling a little bit to figure out what she's going to do next, or specifically what school she's going to go to, is Olivia, who is going back and forth about which school she actually should select that's going to be the best place for her to go with her journalism journey. But ultimately she wants to go to Golden Angela Southern, but she don't want to look thirsty just following Spencer around. Okay, Olivia, we see you, girl. But go ahead, take your behind to go to Angela Southern and be with your man. That's where you want to be anyway. It was very interesting because Auntie Amara appeared in this episode and she talked to Olivia and almost pretty much was trying to talk her out of pursuing a career in journalism just by breaking down where the journalism landscape is right now. And while she was very, very honest about it, I was like, dang, why are you gonna crush this girl's hopes? But when she did say it, it made me think a little bit more about Olivia and her background and if journalism is something that she should be pursuing, or maybe she should be leaning into something else that she really loves, like dance. Because just in thinking about some of the things that Auntie Amara brought up, I feel like a few of those could be very real triggers if Olivia was placed into those circumstances, given her background and, you know, where she's at on her sobriety journey. And then thinking about going to college, that's already a new different environment. It really just started to make me wonder. And I was wondering if that's something we're going to see play out as Olivia's future storyline. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Do you think that Olivia is going to give up the idea of pursuing journalism after talking with Auntie Amara? And if so, what did you think she's going to do? Also in this episode, GW is not dead, y'all, which I told y'all there was going to be something about his recovery. I just knew in this episode they was going to move him out to Beverly Hills with them, because he is giving all of the nurses the blues. Nurses keep quitting left and right because he is horrible to deal with. Him and Billy still got their little animosity going, and it takes Laura to talk to him to really get them to come to a better place, an honest place. After certain things are said at a dinner that becomes a little bit explosive, Laura is the one who's able to make peace and really connect the two guys. And I love that because it really feels very full circle, given that GW has not liked Laura for the majority of Billy's marriage to her. So to see that he's in a place of actually regarding her as family, respecting her opinion, and treating her with respect, I loved it. Jordan in this episode, y'all, is still talking crazy out his mouth and doing what Jordan is gonna do. Other than that, he ain't really do too much. Neither did Coop. Coop just had a little swing moment with Spencer and was able to reaffirm him in that way. I'm so looking forward to Coop getting a little bit more going on in her storyline. She actually winds up confessing to Amina that she's the one who killed Mo, when in fact it was Preach, in the hopes of trying to protect Preach, because Amina is not letting up on any of this questioning about what happened to her mother. And now I think that Coop just made one problem even worse, because now little baby Bookins is probably running all up and through Crenshaw looking for some little unlicensed weapon to try to get back for her damn mama. And I hate that for us. When will we be free from the shackles of Tyrone's lineage? I don't understand. All right, y'all, that is my full breakdown for episode 8. I thought it was a pretty low-key episode, but it set the groundwork for a lot, brought some things full circle, and really cleared the slate for a lot of our favorite characters to enter into new storylines moving forward throughout the rest of the season. And I'm excited to see it. Let me know all of your thoughts, predictions, and theories in the comment section down below. Again, if you're new and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me some thumbs up emoji so that I know that you made it all the way to the end of the video. You're a real one, and I gotta show you some extra special real love. I'll have my preview video for episode 9 coming very soon. I also have my All-American Homecoming episode 1 breakdown, so please be sure to check that out. Don't just stop with watching this video, get your binge on, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.